Buckeyed Bullet, a nickname linked to American track and field athlete Jesse Owens, who won 4 gold medals and broke 2 world records at the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin. His 4 victories were a blow to Adolf Hitler's intention to use the games to demonstrate his Aryan supremacy beliefs. Owens dominated in the sprints and the long jump and was credited in his lifetime as perhaps the greatest and most famous athlete in track and field history. But before all this, who exactly was Jesse Owens? Well, lace up your shoes and follow us for some laps through his history. On your marks, get set. He was born James Cleveland Owens on September 12, 1913 in Oakville, Alabama. JC, as he was called, was the youngest of 10 children, 3 girls and 7 boys born to Henry Cleveland Owens and Mary Emma Fitzgerald. He and his family would move to Cleveland, Ohio when he was 9 years old. This was a time when many African Americans, 1.5 million in fact, moved as part of the Great Migration from the segregated South to the urban and industrial North. At his new high school, Fairmont Junior High, Owens would earn the nickname that would stick with him for the rest of his life. While his teacher was conducting registration, she had asked for his name, and he replied J.C. But Owens, having such a strong southern accent, she misheard what he had said and thought he had said Jesse. Owens was destined for an athletic career from a young age. He set records in junior high, clearing 6 feet in the high jump and leaping over 22 feet 11 inches in the running board, now known as the long jump. During his senior year, he competed at the National Interscholastic Track and Field events in Chicago, where he set a new high school record in the 100-yard dash, tying the current world record for his age group. Then created another new high school record, the 220-yard dash. Along his way through high school, he met a young lady by the name of Minnie Ruth Solomon when he was 15 and she was 13. The two would date throughout high school. Owens' sensational high school track career was growing and resulted in him being sought after by dozens of colleges. But Owens would choose Ohio State University. However, he was not offered a scholarship, so in between training, he worked several different jobs, including a night elevator operator, a waiter, and even a gas pump attendant to be able to support his studies. Owens won a record 4 National Collegiate Athletic Association Championships in 1935 and followed up this achievement with another 4 in 1936. Although Owens was enjoying athletic success, he had to live off campus with other African American athletes. Whenever he toured with his fellow teammates, Owens was restricted to ordering takeout food or eating at black-only restaurants. Equally, he had to stay at black-only hotels. Owens continued to achieve massive success nonetheless, competing at the Big Ten Championships in Ann Arbor, Michigan. On May 25, 1935, he would set 3 world records and tie at 4. This was all achieved in 45 minutes, despite Jesse being uncertain he was even going to be able to compete due to suffering back pain as a result of a fall down flight of stairs. He was able to convince his coach to allow him to run the 100-yard dash to test if he was capable to compete, and astonishingly clocked in a time of 9.4 seconds. He persevered through the pain, going on to win another 3 events, setting a world record in each. After his success at the 1935 Big Ten Championships, he was now setting his sights on a new challenge, the Olympic Games of 1936. At the time of the Olympic Games, Jesse Owens was already married to his high school sweetheart, Minnie Solomon, and the two shared a baby daughter. Their first daughter, Gloria, was born August 8, 1932. Then they were later married on July 5, 1935. 2 years later, the couple would welcome their second daughter, Marilyn, and another daughter, Beverly, was born in 1940. Gloria and Marilyn both later attended Ohio State, and Marilyn became Ohio State's first African American homecoming queen in 1960. Minnie had to quit school to work in a beauty parlor in Cleveland, where she lived with her parents. Jesse traveling for the Olympic Games would be the first of many long periods spent away from his family over the years. When 1936 Olympics were held in Nazi Germany in Berlin, it was Hitler's aim that the Games would support his belief of a superior race. The United States team sailed on the SS Manhattan and arrived in Germany ready to compete. According to a fellow American sprinter, James Louvel, when Owens arrived at the Olympic Stadium, many fans were chanting, "Where is Jesse? Where is Jesse?" which translated to, "Where is Jesse? Where is Jesse?" His name had reached far across the ocean, and just before the competitions, Jesse was visited by Adi Dassler, founder of Adidas, who persuaded Owens to wear one of the company's branded shoes. This was the first time ever for a male African American athlete to be sponsored. Jesse achieved another first at the Olympics by becoming the first American track and field athlete to win 4 gold medals in a single competition. On August the 3rd, Owens won the 100-meter dash with a time of 10.3 seconds. When on August the 4th, he'd win the long jump with a leap of 8.6 meters. On August the 5th, he would win the 200-meter sprint in a time of 20.7 seconds. Then on August the 9th, Owens would win his 4th gold medals in the 4x100-meter sprint relay. His incredible achievements went unmatched for many years until the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles, when American Carl Lewis would match Jesse's accomplishments. Although there have been other athletes to come after Owens who have gone on to win more gold medals, Owens is remembered as one of the most influential athletes, competing in a time of segregation, not only discrediting Hitler's master race theory, but also affirming that it's a person's individual excellence rather than a race that differentiates one man from another. From his success at the Games, there was a big question that began circulating widely. Did Hitler congratulate Jesse Owens? It was reported that after Owens won his first gold medal, Hitler left the stadium not wanting to acknowledge his abilities. In fact, on the first day, Hitler met and shook hands with all the German gold medalists, but left the stadium that evening before African-American high jumper Cornelius Johnson won his first gold medal. However, Hitler was reprimanded by the head of the IOC, Henry de Baillet, who told him he would have to congratulate all the gold medal winners or none at all. As you can guess, Hitler chose none at all. Despite their lack of acknowledgement, Jesse felt more ignored by someone else, US President Franklin D. Roosevelt. In fact, Roosevelt never publicly acknowledged Owens or the other 18 African American athletes who competed at the Berlin Olympics. Only white Olympians were in attendance at the White House in 1936, and it was not till years later that Owens was acknowledged and awarded the highest civilian honor at the White House in 1976 by President Gerald Ford. In recent years, in 2016, President Barack Obama invited the athletes' relatives to an event to celebrate their lives and accomplishments. In Owens' post-Olympic days, he dedicated a lot of his time to work with underprivileged youths in Cleveland, Ohio, until relocating to Chicago, where he became a board member and former director of the Chicago Boys Club. Owens became a highly sought-after inspirational speaker, and many organizations, educational institutes, and Black history programs and more wanted him in attendance. He was a public relations spokesperson and consultant to many corporations, including Atlantic Richfield, Ford, and the United States Olympic Committees. Jesse would amass many awards and honors by groups around the world throughout his remaining years. Sadly, he passed away from lung cancer on March 31, 1980 in Tucson, Arizona. His legacy was continued by his three daughters Gloria, Marilyn, and Beverly, who founded the Jesse Owens Foundation. The foundation maintains Jesse's legacy by providing financial assistance and support services to help young individuals fulfill their potential and develop their talents, while aiding in broadening their horizons and becoming model citizens. Jesse no doubt will be very proud. As we come to the end of this video, I'll finish off with a quote to summarize the man that was Jesse Owens. Perhaps no better athlete symbolized the human struggle against tyranny, poverty, and racial bigotry. His personal triumphs as a world-class athlete and record holder were the prelude to a career devoted to helping others. His work with young athletes as an unofficial ambassador overseas and a spokesman for freedom are a rich legacy to his fellow Americans. If you enjoyed that history lesson, then please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on future videos.